Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you for coming to All Things Possible, for joining me tonight. I'm going to wait a few moments, let people come on in. For you guys who are joining me later on, I appreciate you checking the video out. Hopefully you hear a message that inspires you. Tonight, I have my friend Angel coming on. Thank you for jumping on. Whoever is there, I appreciate you guys coming tonight. And we're just going to talk. Angel is so many things, right? I couldn't even pick a label of which one. And you look on her page and you see the profile. There's so many things that she does. I know she is with Jessie with the missing link. She has her own things that she does. And every time I see her post, she reminds me of a fairy. I always think of her as a lot. There's a couple of people. Willow also reminds me of a fairy. Yes, and so I asked her to come on. Hello, Melissa. I appreciate you guys jumping on. Who is jumping on tonight? Maybe it's Monday evening, you're having dinner or getting ready to have dinner, and you can get a message, an inspiration, something that helps us right now from where we are, what we know, to apply it to our lives. And so we're going to wait a few moments and allow Angel to come on. What are you guys doing right now? Where are you located? I am in Central Florida. Tell me in the comments, where are you? Melissa, where are you located? And what are you guys doing this evening? I always like to center ourselves with breath and just kind of get centered for where we are. Hello, Lisa. I appreciate you guys jumping on. Center yourself. I want to invite everybody right now, whether you're on right now, if you jump on later, to take a moment and center yourself. Just ground yourself. Nothing serious happening here. We're enjoying each other's company. And all of us are spiritual superheroes to me, no matter what you do, whether you work in a store for yourself, healing people, serving people, however your form of doing it is we're spiritual superheroes. We have spiritual, there she goes. So before we add Angel to the live, just take a deep breath and open yourself up for whatever message might come to you right now. All right, we'll take a few moments. One more. All right. Okay, I'm ready to invite my friend, you guys who are joining me. Thank you again. And help me welcome Angel. Drum roll. Hello, Angel.
Hi.
You're just as beautiful as every single time I see you. I tell people when I see you, there's a few people on my page that has different energies, and you so remind me of the energy of an angel and a fairy.
Aw,
How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that you're feeling better. I know that you weren't well for a while, and I love that you were an example of mass prayer and energy being sent to you and seeing you getting better and just completely healed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot better now for sure. And I'm just about to embark on an adventure with Jesse and he's fasting right now and I'm gonna be doing some juicing and raw eggs and things like that. So it'll be
Still
exciting and it's
working on your.
perfect because it'll be a transition for him too.
Okay, I love that. Oh, I see Jesse's on. Thank you, Jesse, for coming on. I just wanted us to talk. There's nothing particular I wanted to get from you because I feel like everything that you do, kind of like a lot of us too in this space that we're in, is everything that we do, we're doing it from our spirit, from what we're learning. We're not claiming masters to be of anything, but just sharing our knowledge with everybody. And so one of the things I know is like with the natural healing that you do. And also I want to talk even a little bit about what you do with Jesse and stuff like that. What is your intention together as a unit and for yourself as well? So just introduce
Um,
yourself. Tell me a little bit about who you are.
um, well, I'm Angeline and I think who I am the most and like that a lot of my time is spent in is maybe being a nurturer, a mom, and a lover. And I just like today, is just really busy doing tons of laundry and all that kind of stuff. And those years are fleeting, and my kids are getting older, so just embracing that while I have that. And yeah, and I'm very artsy and I'm very health conscious and did a lot of research in health. Um, and I don't know, I think I'm just at heart, I love to nurture and heal, and I'm very sensitive to energy, so I can like really feel people and what they need and in pretty intuitively. So that helps me in what I love to do. So
I feel that from you too, that you're nurturing. How many kids do you have?
3 kids.
Three. Oh, I do too. I have
Awesome.
two girls and a boy. How about you?
My oldest just turned 18.
I seen that
Um,
today.
and then my middle guy is 15, and then my youngest, Soraya, everyone knows and loves her.
Yes.
She's 11 now. So yeah.
Oh, you're like me too. I'm kind of spaced out with mine too. And so, okay, so a little bit about the like natural healing and stuff that you do. And I know we didn't talk about advertisement like that, but do you work with other people or do you just like people who is in your surroundings?
Um, I definitely the people in my surrounding. It's very important to me. I want to see people be their best and thrive and live out their purpose. And I've always kind of been that way. And for me, in my heart, I feel like if you're feeling your best, you're going to shine your best. And so I'm constantly teaching my kids that when they're feeling low or whatnot, I teach them to like, I don't know, how have you been eating? How have you been sleeping? How much water have you drank? And they've really got that drilled into their mind, because when we take care of our vessels, we can like be who we are without that restriction and that feeling crappy all the time.
Yeah.
Um, what
Yeah.
was your question? You might have to
No,
repeat
no,
it. I
I
think I
think
get
that
that.
was it too. Like, do you work with other people too? Because I know that's
Oh
how.
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I went through a lot with people in my family getting very sick, and um, addictions and cancer and all this kind of stuff. And then it hit home, and I wound up having a miscarriage and getting tumors and all this weird stuff. And so, and this is after my brother, who got cancer when he was 18, was got cancer 3 times, and I wound up being a white blood stem cell donor for him 3 times
Wow.
right after having babies. So it was quite a crazy time, and then my son was also at the time vaccine injured, and after that I was just like, what the heck is going on here? And I went research crazy. So I'm at the point, well, I was researching like crazy even before I got a diagnosis,
Mhm.
and when I went in and they went in with cameras and stuff, and they told me what they think I have with cancer and whatnot. I basically thanked them. They told me I had to go for further things and start treatment right away. I thanked them and I walked away, and I never went back, because I was kind of at the point in my research where I knew enough that I didn't even believe in it anymore.
Mhm.
So, and I knew what to do. So I became really well versed in that and in vitamins, and I found a chiropractor who's also a naturopath, and he taught me so much. And I learned about muscle testing, which is a huge part of my world.
Yes.
Um, and I've also had, as a lot of people know, a lot of trauma in my past, because I grew up severely sexually abused by my father and other family. And um, just a lot of things happened to me that I would black out and become unconscious to survive and all that kind of stuff. So I grew up with a lot of memory loss. I only knew because it went to court when I was 8, and everything was admitted to the judge by the people.
Wow.
And so I was very messed up, as you could tell. I was always blacking
A
out. I
lot of
had
trauma.
a lot of trauma. I couldn't be
Yeah.
around people. I was like always nervous, And so I was always like, what the heck is wrong with me? Why can't I just be normal, right? So
Oh.
um, I had to learn a lot about healing in that area as well. Sexual healing, healing and reconnecting with myself because I had disassociated from myself so much. Trauma healing, all that kind of stuff. So basically what I was getting at is that I got this wealth of knowledge just from having to figure out myself, how do I survive? And so as being a person who just loves to like care for people, I guess naturally as people come across my path, I love to just give them the tools that I learned and the things that I figured out and help them as best I can with what I've gained through my life experience. So I'll get people who talk to me every once in a while, and if they want help, I'll be there. I'll offer. Sometimes I like to do tapping with people or just be a grounded listening ear without judgment. Sometimes just being able to talk and release that energy clears it out of the way so that you can think clearer or get
Mhm.
past that spot that you're stuck.
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes just telling them, what are you doing for your health and all that, sometimes that's enough to help people get past their blocks. So I don't know. I haven't put anything together multifaceted wise to help people. Maybe I have actually put something together a while back that I haven't stepped into. I got a little notebook with something to go through that people can go through to kind of narrow down refocusing on their body and speaking to areas that are hurting or have stuck energy and finding out what it is and how it's serving them and trying to protect them so that we can release those things.
Yeah.
So I do have a dream of helping people. I guess it's trying to find the balance of doing that and also taking care of all the stuff I feel so busy
Yeah.
with in the everyday
Yeah.
life as well.
There's so many things. Okay, so one really quick from there, I'll take and then go back. Today too, the thought came to me was like I was putting things on my wish list, and so I put some stuff, some like candles and some sage bundles and stuff. So because when I have a retreat, I was thinking, and then I thought I bought so many things thinking I was gonna start doing. I bought necklaces, I bought vials to make things. I mean, I bought so many different things thinking this is what it is I felt led to do. And at first I was like, I'm just, and I said no, because even if I don't use it for my intention, it ends up being gifts or using it in other ways. And I thought, Source has a way of doing that, like kind of encouraging you and pushing you. And every step is getting closer and closer to defining more and more of how we want to make it happen too. Because I have a dream to have retreats and more people gather
Yes.
together too. Yeah. And something else too, I want to hit on what you said that I love was I feel like a lot of us have this passion for helping other people, but we really have not, or we had not stepped into that position until we had to help ourselves first. So I love
Absolutely.
like you're saying, like you went through this healing process of yourself, self health wise, mental, internally, spiritually, and and it's an ongoing process. But you're at a space now where you can help someone who was once where you were. Who was once
Exactly.
where you were. And it
Yeah.
comes in so many forms. It comes in listening. Sometimes it comes in advice. Sometimes it comes in just being. So I love too that you're intuitive, and I can feel that from you too, because I also have that, and I can feel that you feel that off of people and give at the time, like feed, nourish, how whatever they need at that moment. So that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. And so, how did you get into helping Jesse with the missing link?
I was gonna add to that too that Jesse and I, that is one of our dreams, is to open up a space where people come and they're nurtured, like
I feel we're all
physically,
gonna be
mentally,
together. We're all It's
spiritually.
gonna be a group of us.
Yeah,
That's like
there's a lot of people on the same boat and just becoming self-sustainable. And
yeah,
I eventually would like to do maybe starting with maybe a bit of an Airbnb that's a health retreat, so
yes,
health focused, and they can participate in different things if they want for healing and health and all that. So
yeah,
yeah, that's one thing.
yeah.
And
I have one coming up too.
and I'm very artsy, and honestly, I love to perfect my art, and then but I also love to teach it. So that might be something I would get
Fun
into.
too.
So
Yes.
yeah.
All right, I want you to tell me a little bit. I was thinking today too. I would love to know how you and Jesse met. I mean, I know it could probably be a long story, but as you can, in a nutshell, kind of like how you guys met and how you came to where you are now with like the missing link and just your lives together. I love seeing you both together because I know that type of love exists, and when I see it, I just I'm grateful to be able to see it because I know it's real.
It's real. I feel him and I love him very much. Um, well, we actually knew a mutual friend that I was staying with in Calgary, and kind of going through some cool experiences with her for healing, and she actually inspired a lot of the things in me that were already in me that I would also like to do. And I think she felt that. So she was like, hey, come and try this out. And she was doing the Airbnb thing and all that. So I was helping her with that. And even before that, though, her and Jesse were good friends and they were doing some lives. He was doing lives with her to encourage her to be brave and and we didn't know this at the time. Like, I had no clue, but I was looking for something like an old video with her or something like that, and I saw her doing lives with Jesse, and then I saw me in the comments, and I'm like, oh, like, I was asking questions to Jesse that he was answering like 3+ years ago, and we didn't
Wow.
even know it, right?
Yeah.
So there was that, and then, so I saw that. And then I guess when I was with her, I was at her place doing some lives as well. And he saw me and felt like, I'm going to meet this person one day. It intrigued him. Um, and eventually he started, I was doing some lives meditations with my kids. They were silly little lives, but they were fun. My kids would read stories and we would do 15 minutes just silence meditation and things like that. And it was really funny because my youngest could never sit there. She'd always be like peeping at the camera and like, but it was fun, and I liked it. And so and Jesse started doing his lives, and it really inspired me to watch him and how brave he was. And so I started coming on, and I just loved him, and my heart was like leaping with somebody who believed the same things about love and source and not having fear, and that there's only love. And and I had been coming out and transitioning out of a lot of fears and religious fears and stuff, and I didn't have a lot of people in my community that I could surround myself with those beliefs, but a lot of rejection and
Yeah.
shame and condemnation. So
Yeah.
I was so excited to find someone on the same page, and we started talking and hanging out. The first thing we ever did together when we met, I went to Calgary with a girlfriend of mine, and he pulled up and he was dressed in purple from head to toe, his favorite color.
That's
And
mine
yeah,
too.
and I met Hawk, and we took off and we went to get spring water, and that was the very first thing we ever did together.
Oh
So
my.
yeah, and I got to collect wildflowers, and it was really nice. It felt really comfortable.
Yeah.
And then we talked a bit more and hung out a bit, and there was like a very special full moon. I can't remember what it was, but I was in the mountains with my girlfriends, and there was a special full moon, and Jesse's like, I'm not that far away, and he came and he met me, and we got to spend the full moon night in the mountains
Oh,
together.
it's so.
And the energy was really high by that time, so we just really connected energetically,
It just made sense.
and yeah, it made sense. Yeah, it was a
That is
wonderful,
such
it
a
was such a
wonderful.
good it was such a good first date. I
That's
bought
what he
like a
just said.
moonstone necklace just so I could always remember it. When I
Oh.
was there in Jasper. So yeah. So
I
yeah.
love that. I believe that magic like that exists, and so sometimes when we can't even see, there's forces moving to bring who are supposed to be together. So I love that. And so you guys just click, and I guess it just makes sense from there as you expand spiritually too, that you guys and it makes so much sense to me now too, how you feel passionate about the missing link, because I know that's a lot of information then that's coming about health, about spiritual, and all forms. Also, Jesse brings information for too, and so that you were passionate about that too, because you went through those healing moments too, so you know what you're standing up
Yeah.
for.
I loved HVLT, and it allowed me to express my heart to people in a way I never knew I could before. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I just felt so much love and compassion during HVLT. I just would share my heart and what I wanted people to know and undo fears, right? And believe
Yeah.
in themselves. That's the biggest thing, right? To
Yeah.
know who they are. And at some point Jesse felt like that was done. There was some things that happened in Facebook world. We all know the
Yeah.
drama that can come up and the weird lies and the weird things people do and whatnot. And it kind of just started feeling a little the energy started feeling scattered and all over. And it just kind of, for him, it felt like it was time to end that. But he also did a truth telethon where he literally sat for like days straight. I remember pulling all-nighters the few nights before with him, writing up bios, researching all the people coming on, so that he had a preview of how to introduce everybody and what they were about. And
I know the work.
yeah, we worked hard together, and then he was on and he did that. And I remember we were usually on at 7 o'clock every night that at that time. And so he was sitting there for hours and hours interviewing these people, and they loved him and he loved it. And I remember I came on at 7 to because he was interviewing a mutual friend of ours at that time,
Yeah.
to join the interview and say hi. And yeah, and then after that we just kind of both knew it's like, hey, there's something here. Like this
Yeah.
is really natural for you. Like this lights you up. You're really good at it. And he just felt that. He felt
I
that.
got chills
So
all over when I.
yeah, so I just encouraged him, and I helped him where I could. I mean, he's the main guy. He's the main energy. He did all the work. He gets the interviews. He's very brave,
Yeah.
right? He's not afraid to just ask, and I
Yeah.
just backed him up where I could. I helped with making advertisements and setting up backdrops and lighting
Yeah.
and making sure he's comfortable and all that. So yeah, and just
I was like,
wanted
I
to
kept
encourage him in
thinking
what he
it's.
loves.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I said I just wanted to encourage him in what he loves.
Yeah.
I like
That's
seeing him lit
that's
up.
what I felt like. It's like a unit, but yet you guys are still so individually lit yourself, but yet unitly moved together. And I just feel like you're his I don't want to say sidekick because I feel like that lowers it a little bit, but you're his his sidekick. I don't know how else to say it, but you're
I'm
just like
being
your
his sidekick.
yeah. But you have your own light too. So I love that. I've had Jesse on here for you guys who have not seen I've had Jesse on here too, and I love because what a lot of people who are doing interviews too are all coming from different aspects, and we all have different personalities, and we bring out, even if we may interview some of the same people over and over, each person brings out something different from that person that we're interviewing. And I have he shares videos and all things possible, and you do too from him. And I want to encourage whoever's looking to check it out because there's some really great information in his videos. As a matter of fact, one of my friends was the one who was like, hey, how I found Jesse was um, seeing that I was doing interviews, and he's like, you should check out this guy Jesse. He does interviews too. He has really, and so I looked at one of his videos, and I was like, oh yeah, I want him to come on. And so I asked him, and I think at that time you guys were just traveling, excuse me, traveling somewhere. And so he told me he'll get back to me. But at that point, I don't know if Facebook made an algorithm or if Spirit, which is what I would love to believe is what it was. I kept seeing his videos on everybody's page. I was like, yes, it was Pod who introduced this. I kept seeing it, and I was like, this was meant to be. It just felt so right, like I was supposed to meet him and interview him, and then it worked out. And then when I seen you, and I was just like, oh my gosh, they're so like angelic, especially like I said from your being. And I always told him that too from the moment we talked. I love your spirit. I can feel your spirit. I feel that we're all on the same team.
I think so, definitely. And I even watching your interviews with Jesse and stuff, I could feel that you have that same heart, that same love, that same nurturing spirit to you. And I felt pretty comfortable doing this interview. I can be pretty nervous, and I was still nervous, but I knew
Yeah.
I'd be over it.
I think that's always, I think that because I hear even famous people say, even if they've been doing it for 10 years, right before they come on, the little butterflies, because you never know what can happen. But I know I feel that from you too. Very comfort. You are very good at it too.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, I want to ask you then before we go, two things. What is like one of the tips that you think, I won't say help you most because I know it's a combination of different things you probably did, but that stands out to you right now that you could share with people that you did in your healing process. One of the things that you found that was a good tool for healing. I heard you say you like to tap with people too. I mean, whether it was meditate, what do you feel that in your journey is one of your greatest tools that you use to kind of connect back to yourself for healing?
Ooh. Um, I'm very much so an intellectual, and I had to undo a lot of things in my brain first. And but now that I've done that work, to set myself free and rewire what I thought I knew, um, I love to just I love to sing. I really feel connected. It's nurturing to my soul if I sing. Um, I love to meditate and breathe in fresh air and be outside and just be so thankful because even with all the chaos going on, I think we forget how loved we are. And when we go out in nature and we remember outside of all the chaos, outside of all the news and social media and busyness of life, when we go outside, remember there's a Mother Earth who loves us and is always caring for us every day, right? The sun comes
Yes.
up and provides us our water and our air and just regrounding and remember how safe we truly are. And meditating and feeling that love, like feeling it, like you have to actually take time to be quiet and feel it come into your body and into every cell of you and remind you and show you and allow you to feel that you're loved, like re-energize yourself every day, right? It's really, really important. And then just to remember to smile and be happy at all the little things that come around, whatever it is, whatever you're
Yes.
thinking about, however playful you feel. I very much feel like a kid in this life. Like I sometimes I feel like more of a kid than my kids. I'll wrestle with them and bug them and tease them and have fun and um I'll be 40 this April and I just I don't feel it at all, right? Like you just like right now you're having so
Yeah.
much fun. You remember being so worried about everything as a teenager, and now you finally get to be like, wow, all of that was for nothing, and we
Yeah.
can play, right?
Yeah. It's so funny. We have to retrain a lot of those thoughts because they weren't even really, well, a lot of them weren't real. And so we even have to retrain from that space. I love that. I love those tools because I think those are things that people use. One of the things that I heard you, I know you love coloring because when you were sick, you would say, I'm laying here coloring a lot. And so I knew you love coloring too. And that is a form of meditation too. And singing gets you connected. So I love those tools too. And I hope somebody remember that today if you catch this live. And the last question I have for you is how can people find you guys on Missing Link and just keep in tune with what you guys are doing with?
The missing link is everywhere. Maybe Jesse wants to put something in the comments,
I
but
would love that.
we have a very active Telegram group that has been awesome.
I'm on that too.
There's the
Yes.
Facebook group. If you put in the @ symbol T missing link all together, it'll bring that up.
Okay.
For tagging, I guess, but you can look it up as well. Just look for purple. You know what purple is? There's Jesse. um, I always share it on my page and Jesse's page. There's the YouTube channel, we've gotten a couple of YouTube channels deleted lately, so we're building
Oh,
that back up. So head over there
okay.
and get on there. Rumble, BitChute, Twitter, everywhere. So
Everywhere. Just
yeah,
type
and
in
if you go
T
to the
missing
page, I
link,
think they're
right?
all listed on there.
Okay, okay, cool. He put it in there. I was just gonna ask. Thank you, Jesse.
Perfect. Thank you,
Angel,
Jesse.
I love you. Thank you so much for taking time and coming and sharing me. I think this is like really why I love doing it too. Just learning people's story and hearing other people's story. First of all, I realize how much we're all connected because we have so many similar stories, even though it can be in a different details, but like the plot of it is always, a lot of us are healing from sexual trauma, mental, emotional traumas too that we've gone through. And so when we find other people who's going through what we're going through or went through, it helps encourage us and strengthen us. So I thank you for sharing your story, your love story, a little bit of your life. Thank you so much for coming to join me today, Jesse. Thank you for chiming in. And he's just here like your cheerleader, just like you are when he's on. I love both of you guys so much. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you for inviting me. This was awesome, and you're awesome. Bless
I
you.
love you. God bless you guys too. All right. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Angel has such a calm, beautiful spirit. I know you guys felt it too. Even before I brought her on and I took a moment to like center myself, I can feel the calmness of the night. And so I love that energy and I hope you feel that energy too. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Jesse left the links in the comments so you can check out Missing Link and a little bit more of what they're doing together as a unit and as a team together, as spiritual superheroes that we are. You guys, I'm so excited for tomorrow. I'm excited for every single person I have on here, but tomorrow I'm so excited. I'm going to post the flyer in a few moments. Join me tomorrow. I will be back on All Things Possible. You guys enjoy your Monday night. Blessings.